whether you're doing a cataract surgery or a refractive surgery, to correct astigmatism, the amount of astigmatism and its orientation is of primary importance. Because if you have an accurate measure for the astigmatic status, then you're going to get an accurate result. Because you want to try and target 0 or as close to 0 as you can. So if there's any unreliability in the measuring part of it, then you're going to have an unreliable result. So we developed, for the accuracy part of things, a new parameter, and we published on it in 2012 and 2015, and now it's coming into quite a lot of use, is CorT, which stands for corneal topographic astigmatism. And what it does differently to previously is that, whereas its predecessor, the SIM-K or simulated keratometry, takes the readings just from one ring, around about the 3 mm zone, CorT on the measuring device, the tomographer or topographer, has many rings, 20 or 30. And so instead of just using one ring, it takes all the data from multiple rings, probably the best 15 or 16 of those rings, and takes an average of each ring individually. So if there is any irregularity which can cause problems with the SIM-K result being unreliable, then by taking an average of many rings, if there is any localized irregularity, it gets washed out by the average. And so we find that if you consider the best standard of astigmatism measurement is the manifest refraction from the spectacles, which measures all the astigmatism from the front of the cornea all the way through to the brain when in the measurement part of things, then the closer you are to the manifest refraction astigmatism or cylinder, then the more accurate is the astigmatism measurement. And what we found was that CorT anterior, which was similar to SIM-K, was more accurate than SIM-K and IOL master and all the automated measures, as well as manual keratometry. CorT total, which also includes the important component of the posterior cornea, CorT total was even more accurate than CorT anterior as far as being closest to the manifest refractive cylinder. So this new parameter, CorT total, is important for toric implantation, it's important for limbal relaxing incisions, it's important for anything you're going to do to change the corneal astigmatism, such as vector planning, which not only uses refraction in the planning of laser surgery, but also uses the corneal parameters. So CorT total is the best parameter to use in all those endeavours, including vector planning. So what we did today was we looked at the total corneal power of 3 commonly used tomographers. Tomographers and topographers are similar measurements, but the tomographers give you more information. They give you the shape of the whole cornea, front to back, and the back surface. And so the 3 most commonly used tomographers, which give you more information than topographers, is the Pentacam, the Ziemler Galilei, and the CSO Sirius. And looking at those most commonly used tomographers, they put out a value of total corneal power from their own data that they collect in any measurement. CorT total is derived from that data from the whole corneal map from each of those, and in one way or another, by the way it takes the average, it actually gives you the number that we found to be the best number out of all those 3 topographers. In other words, it is the most accurate. And we found that you could use CorT as a benchmark measure, not only for those 3 tomographers, but also for other topographers that CorT is measured on. So what we found was that 2 of the 3 tomographers actually had a value of total corneal astigmatism equivalent to CorT total when you looked at its reliability or variability. We weren't looking so much at the magnitude, the amount, we're looking at its reliability or variability. And the reliability and variability of 2 of them matched CorT total when you looked at the relative numbers. The third one did not match up quite as well, but it wasn't a comparison between the three tomographers as much as a comparison of CorT total versus the total corneal power from each of the machines. And what it showed was that CorT total was an excellent parameter to judge the performance of any machine when it comes to total corneal astigmatism. So it's a number you can use for every procedure you might do. If you go to CorT total, you get a number that's reliable and accurate to measure the astigmatism of an eye. There is one study that's particularly valuable. It was published in December by Dr. Maria Arbeles from Oman. And what she looked at was a vector planning study where she compared the treatment of eyes for refractive surgery using the spectacle correction, which is manifest refraction for the astigmatism, which is conventional, probably done by 98–99% of surgeons, versus vector planning, where we combined the inputs not only of the manifest refraction, but also the corneal value of, in this case, simulated keratometry, and which is the most common parameter used for astigmatism when you take it out of the topographer. And what she found was that the study showed that the 80 eyes where the topography was combined with the manifest refraction, they actually had better visual results with less astigmatism remaining on the cornea than those that were treated by manifest refraction alone. It is very gratifying to know that the technique that we use with vector planning is so effective in the results that you might expect, because I've been using it for many years, and you got better visual results, closer to a spherical equivalent that you're aiming for. You had less corneal astigmatism, but you didn't suffer any penalty of increased refractive cylinder. They were the same. So you actually got something for nothing, less overall astigmatism. So I think the future studies would be to do a similar study to what Dr. Arbeles did of manifest refraction plus either CorT anterior or CorT total in the vector planning process to show how well these parameters perform, and to really reconfirm the fact that vector planning is a better way to treat eyes than just manifest refraction alone.